What if I were to suggest that you play a key role in the awakening world?
Scott.
And that you are watching this because you have heard the call. We can start right now by opening our hearts and minds. Welcome to the awakening world.
Good evening, everybody. Good to see you. Oh, look at those beautiful faces. I always love those of you who have your cameras on in gallery view. And welcome. I am Love Coach Scott Catamas, but you all know that by now. And I am here tonight with if you take a look behind me, you can see Jasmine Bear resting on the bed, getting her afternoon nap in. And beloved Omashar is with me. And we are going to primarily really converse with you. I am going to be talking about love coaching, and I've got a couple of guests who are going to drop in and join us. But I also was starting a new season, and I really want to hear from all of you. So we're going to talk about what you'd really like for me to book. September's already booked out, but what you'd like in October and November. We've actually got some things already booked in October and November as well, but plenty of room still. So we're going to converse. So, get ready to chat, either in the chat box or live, direct. It's going to be one of those kinds of intimate evenings, all of us chatting. But Eleanor and Ian have their dancing shoes on, and Omashar has not one, not two, but 3 songs prepared for tonight. So get ready to move and groove to the music. I see Sylvia is happy about that. And take it away, Brother Omashar.
Alrighty, namaste. Without you in my life, it would seem so unreal. I'm glad it's not true. What could I ever feel if you left me alone? I'm so happy you're here, that you came through. With you, you're part of my life. Don't think that I'm crazy, cause I feel so alive in this new situation. I am never alone. You gave me your heart, and now I call it my home. better way to get on with my life. I wasn't always this real until you. I know the constant change that we need for our souls. There is always a way for us to get through. I am one love with you. You're part of my life. Don't think that I'm crazy, 'cause I feel so alive in this new situation. I am never alone. You gave me your heart, and now I call it my home. With you, you're part of my life. Don't think that I'm crazy, 'cause I feel so alive in this new situation. I am never alone. You gave me your heart, and now I call it my home.
That was fun.
Yeah, I thought so.
Oh, and what's it like in Colorado right now?
It's well, we have blustery winds of up to 20 miles an hour, and so it's the typical this time of year, north and south battling for supremacy. So, like for instance, 2 days ago we had 97 degrees. Yesterday it plummeted to 79 degrees. I mean, during the day, peak. And today it's back up to 95. So there's just the war of the worlds going on, the war of the elements, should I say, going on. It's not a war, the changeover of the elements happening right now. So from that perspective, it's pretty nice. It's you know, I go for an evening walk. I went for a walk just before I came on the show. There's a little lake down the road called West Lake, and I go and walk around the lake and look at the ducks and the egrets and the Canadian geese and the pelicans. So yeah,
Pelicans.
pretty nice.
All right. Well, hey, a reminder, everybody, that we support Omashar by going to his website, omashar.com. And that's where we get all things Omashar. And always, it's best to buy his albums from Bandcamp, because they're the most generous at returning some of that money to him. So let's support Omashar. If you don't have his albums already, do get them. They're great.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, Omashar. You are such an incredibly beautiful part of the show, and people love you.
Well, yes, it's a love fest, because I just, a part of me, even though I don't always miss it, but as soon as I come online and when I feel our vibe together, I get enlivened. The cells of my body just lift up and open up, and I feel so at home. So thank you.
Susan Blomquist just wrote, in Colorado, if you don't like the weather, just wait 5 minutes.
There it is.
It's autumn here, beginning to be autumn-ish here in Ashland, and it's just, oh my God, it's so that kind of crisp, fresh air after all the smoke. So yeah, I've been really enjoying my time outside, really enjoying it quite a bit.
Nice.
All right, well, we will back to Omashar with some conversation, because we're going to have some conversation and a couple more songs. Love coaching. You know, a very wise teacher of mine said that life is relationship. If you want to change the world, change your relationships. And I really believe that to be true. And some of what I'm going to say, you've already heard me say before, but it's worth repeating. We really don't have much of an influence over what Putin does, or what Trump does, or what Biden does. But we have total control over how we treat each other. And we are creating an awakening world. And we are awakening ourselves. And that awakening starts with our relationships. And our relationships start with our relationship to ourself, both the little self and the big self. I think most of us watching know that we are part of all that is, that God is not separate, but God is life, and we are part of life. And so cultivating our relationship to the divine, whatever you like to call it, however you like to imagine it, and cultivating our relationship to ourself is the most important thing we can do if we really want to change the world and if we want to live in an awakening world. And so that's why I always bring it back down to our relationships. And that's why, I was born on Christmas Day. I wanted to save the world. I realized at an early age, it's up to all of us this time, not just one person, thank God. And we all have a role to play. And when I met Marshall Rosenberg, he really helped me to understand that the best thing we can do is to really work on our relationships. And most of the great spiritual teachers that I've met and worked with say the same thing, including the Twin Ray. And I know that many of us have gotten more and more involved with the Twin Ray. I'm living in their home now, living in the sanctuary where they live. And they're beautiful, beautiful beings, and they're very wise, extremely wise, and very evolved. And they're all about relationship, and they've empowered me to teach my relationship skills, my compassionate communication, love coaching skills to the entire community, all the people that have moved here to Ashland to be part of this community. And I feel very honored, And so I thought that I would share some of my love coaching tonight with all of you. And also because it's the start of the new season. The new season begins really in September. There's a grace period. So those of you in the Zoom room, you already have the Zoom rooms for September, but we really like to have people sign up for the next 4 months. And I'll put the link in, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. And really want to do a big boost, really want to increase our membership. But I sure appreciate our core group that's right here in the Zoom room. And I also want to acknowledge all the people who are watching on Facebook and YouTube and the different groups. And I should maybe take a moment and just acknowledge all of you, because a lot of people watch the replays, the recordings, and most of the people actually watch us on the different Facebook groups and pages that we go out to. So if you are watching us on YouTube or Conscious Awakening Network or Humanities Team or one of 100+ Facebook groups or pages, join us. Come join the Global Peace Tribe. And what happens when you join? Okay, well, when you join, you get the links, the Zoom room links to all of our shows for the next 4 months, all the way through the end of the year. And we do a show every Wednesday night and a show every Saturday night. And then we also do special events. Like last week, we had a great special event with the Twin Ray doing a satsang and Gary Malkin playing along. And I've got we're going to be doing at least one Twin Ray satsang every month. The next one's with China Sala, the one after that with Johanna Beekman. We're going to do one with Donna Delori. And we've got a live stream that we're going to do on September 17th. I'm just negotiating today to kind of work that out. So there's lots of special events. And we also provide meditation 7 nights a week. So join us. And also then you get access to all the replays. We've done over 500 shows since we started doing this. So come and join us. It's a beautiful community of people. And once you're in the Zoom room, you can chat with people. That's where we give the discounts, all of our different presenters. And it's easy to join. Just go to globalpeacetribe.com, globalpeacetribe.com, and you can learn all about us, see all the different things that we're doing, and then click register for the new season. And when you click register for the new season, it takes you to our registration page. And you can see all that we're doing. And then from there, you can register. And again, we're doing a meditation every night, 7 nights a week. Here's the show that's happening right now, an introduction to love coaching. And in addition to Omashar being here, I've got 2 other friends who are going to drop on in that are part of the love coaching world. And then this Saturday night, every year we honor the 11 days of global unity. This will be the 4th year in a row that we've done that. And what happened is the United Nations had declared the International Day of Peace for September 21st, September 21st. Well, of course, on 9/11, September 11th, 2001, our world changed, was impacted. And so for many people, 9/11 represents emergency. It also represents that terrible day that the World Trade Towers went down. And so my friend Rick Olfick had the idea of creating 11 days of global unity spanning from September 11th to September 21st, which is the International Day of Peace. And so we call it the 11 Days of Global Unity. And this Saturday night show will have Rick as my co-host and some really wonderful presenters. And then we go into Peace Week. And the next 2 weeks after that will be dedicated to Peace Week. And we'll have Kristen Hoffman with us live. We'll have Tatiana Speed, Gary Malkin, Ben Bowler, and the whole kind of World Unity Week tribe. So that's what we've got going on for the next few weeks. We also are going to have a really wonderful Authors We Love show. And I just did a great interview, which I'm really excited about, but I won't say anything about it until it happens. But so we've got some great things planned. But I also really want to know what you want to see. What do you want to see in October, November, and December? For example, the closest show to All Hallows Eve, would you guys be up for putting on costumes? Would you like to do a seance? Would you like to have a Sacred Samhain experience where we're dropping in and connecting to our beloveds on the other side? So let me know if that's something that would appeal to you. And let me know what you'd like to experience. What are some of the holiday themes you'd like to see? Who are some of the guests that you want to see us bring back? Who are the people that you miss? Who are the people you want more of? Don't tell me who you don't want to see. But I do want to know who you do want to see more of. And I see some comments are coming in, so I'm going to read some of those. Oh, Halloween is Diara's birthday. Well, okay, and Omashar says seance. Dia Therese writes, Scott, your broadcasts for the past 3.5 years have provided a rich awakening to me. Thank you, Dia. And thank you. I saw that you just registered just before the show began. Jeffrey and Sonia write, breathing into the spaciousness of now with deep reverence and awe, I acknowledge the inimitable power and indwelling presence of the divine, which abides within me, surrounds and enfolds me. Loveolution is the solution. Beautiful, Jeffrey. I'm gonna put you on camera for that. That was beautiful. Did you write that?
Love it. Loveolution is the solution. Thank you.
Absolutely.
And thank you for continuing doing this work, Scott. It really is so important with what's going on. So you're deeply appreciated.
Thank you. Thank you for being one of our regulars going all the way back to the beginning, Jeffrey. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm going to bring Tiara on. I still struggle with her name, even though I see her almost every day now. Tiara is one of the main people here in the Twin Ray community. She leads the meditations on Sundays. And yeah, you also started 3.5 years ago with Saturday Night Live while you were in San Diego.
Yes, this show, your show, our show was a lifeline for me. I had a very traumatic implosion of my life around the Great Reset. And while I knew what it was about, because everything needed to change, it was also very very thwarting. And I remember, I think it was Cornflower was on one night and we all got up and danced. And that was the first joy I felt since the lockdown started. Yeah, it was huge. It was huge. And this show has been my connection to the world on a deep, personal, intimate level. And also you keep us expanded by the variety and following the trends and then going back to guests to refollow and reconnect. And it's just such a beautiful spiral. And I took you with me up here to the Ashland area and then moved and then you followed. So I love that.
Right. Yeah, we've all the world. Thank you. And Susan Bloomquist just wrote that she loves your Sunday meditations.
Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you so much, guys. And yeah, I'm taking requests if people want to, have things woven into the script. It's a healing, meditative community experience. And here's another family member from Sunday night.
Absolutely, yeah. And Sylvia, who we're now seeing, she and Eleanor Joy. I won't put the camera on Eleanor Joy because she's eating right now. But they both are voting yes for Sacred Samhain, connecting to our beloveds on the other side, our star beings. So we will definitely do that.
Wonderful. I'd be happy to serve as a medium for us.
All right. Okay. Well, please continue those comments. Dia wrote, should register. Oh, that's all right. Dia had difficulty registering. It said that you registered, but anyway, we'll check that out tomorrow, Dia. Thank you. Yeah, and I guess since we're talking about registration, I'll put the link in while I'm talking. And it is really important, and whatever you can do to invite your friends to come and join us. Remember that if you register at 75 or higher, you can actually bring friends into gift subscriptions. And for those of you that did that before, you do need to let me know. Again, if you want to bring in the same people, or if you want to bring in new people. And I'm putting it in the chat box right now, the details about registering. And again, this is going to be for 4 months. So you won't have to worry about it again until getting ready for next year. I hope and imagine I'll continue doing this, but I do need us to really increase our membership. I really do need to do that. So Mark is asking, can we have a guest or guests from Maui and Greater Hawaii? Hopefully someone indigenous and someone who moved there of a soulful call. We need to know how to help keep Lahaina in the hands of the Hawaiians. Yeah, that's a good point, Mark. The live stream that I was talking about that I just added is going to be on Sunday, September 17th. And it's a fundraising event for our friends in Maui. But you're right, I should put together a show because I know so many people in Maui. So I'll do that. I will reach out to my friends in Maui and say, hey, we want to do an Awakening World show where we're actually hearing from people in Maui, letting us know what's going on. That's a really, really good idea. And if you can, join us on Sunday, September 17th at 6:00 p.m. And that'll be a live stream of a fundraiser happening here in Ashland. But maybe what I'll even do is arrange for maybe one of my Maui friends to be someone we can talk to in between some of the sets and the songs. So I'll get creative with that. Susan wants more Star Family. Okay, more Alan Steinfeld. We haven't had Alan on for a while. It's funny, we had I was meeting last night with a number of the people here in Ashland, and several of them are seeing ships and having very powerful galactic experiences. So it's becoming more and more common. And so again, it's helpful to hear some of your suggestions of what you'd like to see more of. Let's go back to love coaching for just a few minutes, and then we're going to go to Omashar because he's giving us 3 songs today. So when people ask me, what's the difference between love coaching and traditional therapy? My answer is this. A traditional therapist has spent many years learning how to diagnose and evaluate what's wrong with you. And there's value in that. Of course, I appreciate that. However, in love coaching, it's not what's wrong with somebody. It's about helping people to remember the magnificent being that they are. That's what love coaching is. I did a mediation yesterday between 2 people that had a really big fracture. And when I got them together, they both thought I was going to start with the problem, the big event that happened between them. That's not what I did. Instead, what I did was I invited them to drop in, and we did a little prayer, we did a little meditation, created a safe space. And then I asked each of them to share what are some of the character strengths, what are some of the values and virtues that you respect and admire in the other. And that was easy. They each were able to share what they respect and admire about each other, and that opened their hearts. And because they have been in a relationship for a few years, platonic, but working together. So what are some moments where you really enjoyed being with each other, specific moments? And they started sharing specific moments that they really loved about each other. And I took it one step further. What do you really love about this person? Now they're sharing what they love about each other. We did all that before we talked about what happened. And by the time we talked about it, they were in such a love space because they remembered that they love each other. And then when we did talk about what happened, they weren't being defensive, they weren't being attacking, they weren't being reactive. They were like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That's love coaching. Honestly, a lot of therapists would have gone right into the problem, which would have led to defensiveness, reactivity, turning the therapist into a judge to decide who's right and wrong. In love coaching, we always are coming back to love, doing everything with love. And I guess the last thing I'll say, and then we'll go to an Omashar song, and then my friend Dolphin just came into the room. So we're going to hear from Dolphin. He's, of course, one of the founders of RelationFlix. Final thought is do everything with love. Easier said than done. But when we do things with resentment, when we collect evidence to support that somebody's bad or stupid or wrong, it just creates so much pain, so much toxicity. Let's do everything with love. And if there's resentment, then what are your unmet needs? What are your precious needs that are being met? Anyway, there's something to think about. And I'm going to turn it over to my beloved brother, Omashar, for his second song of the night.
Change your heart and look around you. Change your heart, it will astound you. And 'cause I need your loving like the sunshine. Everybody's gotta learn sometime. Everybody's got to learn sometime. Everyone's gotta learn sometime. Free your mind from limitation. And fill your life with inspiration. Because we all need loving, like the sunshine. Everybody's gotta learn sometime. Everybody's got to learn sometime. Everyone's gotta learn sometime. Change your heart and look around you. And change your heart, it will astound you. Because I need your loving, like the sunshine. Everybody's coming home sometime. Everybody's coming home sometime. Everyone's coming home sometime.
Oh, that was great. I love watching everybody dance. And Adora is back.
Yay.
She's been away for a little while. Adora, I'm going to put the spotlight on you for a minute. It's so good to see you back. You've been gone for a bit.
I had to go visit my mom
Yay.
and
How's
dad,
Mama? How are they?
and it was wonderful.
Yay, I'm grateful. So glad.
And I'm happy to be home too.
Yes.
Well, welcome back. Welcome back. We missed you.
I miss dancing too with you. Oh,
Great. Thank you so much.
thank you.
Welcome back. One more. We have another one coming up, so don't go away.
We'll see.
All right. Isn't it wonderful getting to know each other? You know, it really is. It's a beautiful thing. So, because it was about love coaching, I invited my friend Dolphin, and you've seen him on the show before. He's brilliant. He is a really, really good coach. And I'll be honest, I'm snobby about coaches because I train them. And but Dolphin, whenever you speak, you bring so much wisdom and so much thoughtfulness to your answers, your responses. And of course, you are the co-founder of RelationFlix, which we've highlighted on the show a few times. So welcome back to the awakening world.
Thank you, Scott. I always appreciate being invited. I love the community and just the continuity of what you've been doing over the years. I just appreciate, and I had a chance to listen back our podcast conversation, and just it was, I think it was about 45 minutes, but it was just so full of poignant, profound, crucial wisdom that I think anyone who listens to you really gets to the heart of what relationship is, what gets in the way, and some of the most potent ways to cut through the noise. So yeah, it's a mutual love in terms of the work that we do. So thank you for having me.
My pleasure. My pleasure. All right. Well, tell us what's new with RelationFlix. Catch us up and feel free to screen share. You can screen share if you want.
Sure. Yeah. So, I mean, RelationFlix launched, let's see, about a year and a half ago. And we've been just gathering our friends, our colleagues, the people that are kind of in our circle, to bring together a comprehensive approach, a comprehensive content ecosystem that allows people to pay into a subscription and just get access to dozens and dozens of educators sharing their wisdom, different modalities, different aspects and dimensions of relationship. And we just wanted it to be a place that grew over time, that built community, and that provided people essentially all of the things we should have learned in school, but didn't. And so that was the brainchild of Stephen Rowland, who's my business partner in RelationFlix. And we've just been pouring our heart, our soul, our blood, our sweat and tears into it. And yeah, it continues to just grow and evolve. And I would say, you know, the things that have been added in the last little while, we started doing live broadcasting. So there's regular live broadcasting of different kinds, kind of a hot seat coaching style broadcasting. There's kind of lecture style pieces. There's workshop style pieces. So people who are on the platform are getting access to a growing kind of a growing sequence of live offerings that will continue to evolve. And the platform is young enough where people who are coming are actually in a direct dialogue with us, the founders and the people that are growing the platform. We're there wanting to hear from people like, what do you need? What's going on in your life? What's happening in your relationships? What's not happening in your relationships? And how does this platform grow and evolve to meet the needs of the people that come to the table? So the live broadcasting is a new piece that is currently running. We're about to fully launch our podcast. That will happen next week. Scott will be the first of the launch for the official launch of the podcast. Scott is the first interview that we're featuring. There's going to be a bunch of content on social media that will be happening starting tomorrow over the next week, just highlighting Scott and our conversation and what people can expect from the podcast. And yeah, currently we have about 8 interviews in the chamber, and then I'm continuing to hold weekly interviews with new guests, and so just lots of cool stuff. And then in October or November, we're not totally sure on the launch date yet, we'll be launching a writers community. And so that's an invitation for not just coaches and educators, although I think that will be a kind of a primary group. Anyone that has an affinity and a talent for writing, for putting ideas and wisdom and story into written form, there'll be a growing ecosystem of writing content that will be there, text-based content on the platform that will also begin to have an invitation for kind of like a forum dialogue. Like, so we can have these pieces of content, have these written articles, and then an opportunity for people to talk about them. And what was this? And where did this miss the mark? Or so we really want there to be a two-way street and a two-way communication around what we're offering, and again, to make sure that the value that we're bringing really hits the mark in terms of what people are looking for and what people are wanting to create for themselves. So just really briefly, for anyone that hasn't seen it yet, I'm going to share my screen, and we'll just give you a little bit of a quick breeze through of what the feel of the platform is. Let's see now. Do people see my screen right now?
We sure do.
Yeah, cool. So when you come to the platform, obviously, if you aren't subscribed yet, there's a kind of a landing page and there's information on what you access, and then there's opportunity to register for different kinds of subscriptions. But a bunch of the content, including the podcast, including the writers community, will be in front of the paywall. So people can come to RelationFlix. That's www.relationflix.com. So just FLIX on the end of relation. And so people can come and get access to free video content, free podcasts, and free written content as much as they like. And of course, the deeper dive and the biggest kind of body of content on the platform is when you subscribe. So there's just huge benefit to doing so. And so what you're going to find is different kinds of categories for the videos. Obviously, a lot of different educators, a lot of different genre or kind of category areas in terms of the content that's being covered, things around intimacy and sexuality, things around communication, self-love, interpersonal communication and conflict resolution. These are all the kinds of things. We have this guy, Tony Estevez, did a piece on meeting people. So there's this whole way in which, especially after COVID or during and after COVID, where we felt so isolated, and in a real way, we've kind of lost our ability to just organically meet new people. So he has this incredible course on like, how do you strike up conversation, and how do you make sure that those conversations are rich and meaningful for you and the people that you connect with. So lots of interesting stuff and new content all the time. And again, people can go to the podcast if they want, whether they're subscribed or not. And we have, again, a big list of educators. The live broadcasting is happening. So there's an opportunity for subscribers to go to past live broadcasts and watch those. And then, of course, a calendar of events in terms of the new live broadcasting that's happening. So that's just sort of like a little quick snapshot of what we're up to with RelationFlix. We're definitely interested in people who are really in the relationship space, and I know your community is that. So people who want to reach out to Stephen or I to ask questions, to get information, if they want to collaborate, if they're involved in media or content creation or relationships, these are conversations we want to have. And of course, anyone that's interested in subscribing, then all of that is available when you go to the website.
There's a couple of comments and questions that have come in. So
Cool.
I'm going to come on in. Diara is asking, well, first of all, she says, beautiful. Love coaching seems like trauma-informed care and restorative practices mixed with a whole lot of love leading to joy. That's a beautiful way of putting it, Diara. And she's asking if she could share her spiritual diversity in education video on your platform.
Well, again, we're open to submissions. Of course, you know, lots of people have kind of come and have conversations with us. I can't guarantee to anyone that is coming to the table that we for sure will have it on the platform, but we're always open to people who are creating content that is in the relationship space to get in touch with us, to have a conversation, a meeting, for us to see you and feel you and your content. And if it's a fit, if it's a match, then that's something we would love to talk about.
Beautiful. I also see that, and I'm going to put I'm getting the link right now to put into the chat box. There we go. And, you know, one of the things that, oh, here we go. Eleanor Joy writes, Dolphin, great to see you again. I was at the RelationFlix workshop in Victoria in February. Great session.
Amazing. Yeah.
And so, yeah. You know, one of the
There was
things
also Susan, a woman named Susan was asking about AI on the platform.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Yeah. So just in response to that, there's currently no AI on the platform. It's all like live people or educators or recorded content. We're not averse to AI, but we're also very sensitive to the way in which AI is a kind of it's like a surrogate. It's sort of like a stopgap between our relationships, between our direct human contact, in a way that can be supportive and helpful. I think AI can be something that enriches lives, but like any powerful technology, and AI is definitely such, it has the possibility of kind of feeling like human connection, but not being human connection. So, you know, Stephen and I are in dialogue as we speak about if, how, and where AI belongs on a human relationship centered platform. And I'm sure it will be a conversation we continue to have over time. So Susan, I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, it's a tricky one because AI is kind of like, us love coaches could be put out of business because of AI.
A
Although,
lot of current businesses, current business models will not survive this revolution for
Yeah.
sure. So things will have to evolve and change. I don't think AI is going anywhere anytime soon. It will be difficult to compete with businesses that are heavily leveraging AI. And like, I am someone who absolutely loves to be in physical spaces with physical people. And so I don't think technology can ever replace or match the richness and the meaning in direct human contact. So again, it's always for me about what is this leveraging and what is this building over time versus paying most attention to like what kind of acquisition does this help me acquire? Like, what does it help me get? I think that's often a business approach, but it's just not my business approach.
right. We did a show on AI recently, Dolphin. We're going to do a follow-up show, and I've arranged for Sophia, the robot, is going to actually be on the show.
Wow.
So, and she acknowledges that she doesn't have the skill of compassion. That's something her creator, David, is trying to find a way to build into the robotic system, is the ability to have empathy. So that's kind of an interesting point.
Yeah, I'm super curious about that. I'm sure that it will be quite interesting.
Just reading a couple more comments. Jeffrey writes, one great way to meet people is to share the word Lovolution. And of course, that's his beautiful thing, that Lovolution is the solution. So what does Lovolution mean to you, Dolphin?
Well, I mean, it's the first time I've heard the word, so I think I'll be filling in some gaps with my own interpretation. But as human beings, we have all of these levels of us, and I believe at the base level of humanity and the base level of life is love, and then on top of that, there are all of these levels that can be expressions or vehicles for that love to come through into the surface. But all the way along those levels, there's opportunity for there to be separation, dissociation, and distortion. And for me, what that word represents, as I just relate to it, is what does it mean to realign all those levels so that they are aligned with and vehicles for that fundamental love to come through and be a verb in the world, to be acts and movements of love. All the way through us. So that would be my interpretation.
Beautiful. And how's it going? I know, how old is your child now?
He's 2.5. He's actually running amok. Grandma's looking after him right now. So he's supposed to be sleeping, but currently that's not happening. So we'll see when we get off the call. We'll see what the state of the house is.
Ours is so beautifully honest about your adventure in parenting. This is Dolphin's first child. So what have you learned recently about relationship from your 2.5-year-old son?
Man, there's so much. I learned so much from him. And I know people say that, the thing that's been, well, there's a few. So one thing that's really been amazing for me is to come face to face with my own immaturity and my own selfishness, my attachment to being the center of my own universe. And I've always been someone who's done good work, social service work and helping work and coaching work. And like my work is always, helping other people. But all the while I had a life that I could really do what I want when I wanted. And without making anything inherently wrong with that, when we're attached to having it our way at our time in the way that we choose, that attachment becomes a kind of, it's just a limiting frame to live from. And what children do so beautifully and effortlessly is they make, in no uncertain terms, they displace you as the central importance in your life. And so that piece has been so valuable and so uncomfortable. And And I think that the magic and the mastery of parenting is about surrendering to that reality that you are no longer the central importance in your life, without pretending as though you're not important, or without pretending as though, without believing you're not important. So in other words, you can be important. You are important, but there are things that are more important than you. And my child is one example of them. There are actually a whole bunch of things that are more important in my life than I am. And how do I honor those things that are more important than I am without dishonoring myself? And that's, to me, what the highest form of love in relationship is. It's including ourselves, but ensuring that ourselves are not the central importance for us. Because what that allows for is all sorts of space and presence and compassion and responsiveness when things are difficult, when things go sideways, when someone's needs seem to conflict with mine. If I believe my own needs are the central importance in my life, all of those moments become oppositional conflict that isn't rooted in love and doesn't actually create more alignment and more connection in its engagement. So that would be, I would say, kind of one of the crucial learnings since my son came into the world. And he continues to remind me, and it's just lovely to see his stages of development and everything that he's pulling out of me and my partner to kind of be our best with him. And I have faith in life, in spite of the world being quite upside down at times, and there being a lot of people that maybe I wouldn't trust in certain ways. I really trust life itself. And so that allows me to be relaxed in the face of things that might look difficult or distorted.
Beautiful. Well, you're getting a lot of positive responses in the chat box to what you just said.
Yeah, cool.
And yeah, that's beautiful. So here's another question for you. You know, on RelationFlix, you've got so many amazing teachers. And of course, most of them have been on my show and they're all awesome. What's something that you want to highlight? Not me, so pick another teacher. What's a teacher on RelationFlix that's really kind of blown your mind and that you've learned something significant from?
Yeah. I'm gonna highlight two, and for very unique reasons. And that's the beautiful thing about having so many access to so many educators, is that everyone brings their own flavor, their own angle, their own perspective, their own life knowledge. And it's just such a delicious way to learn and grow. So one of them is Jessica Vega, and she did a podcast with me, which will be featured on the podcast. And provided us with some lovely content. And she's one of those coaches that is so transparent about her own journey, about her shortcomings, about the mistakes that she's made, and how and where she came to the insights that she has. Whereas I feel like some educators and teachers, they're kind of up on high, these sort of, sage angels, and they basically, you don't kind of have access to their humanity because they speak as if they've always known the answers. And that doesn't resonate with me. I much prefer to hear the times people were in the gutter, or the times when people made the terrible mistake, or hurt someone, or their dark side came out and they made a mess of things. Like, it's important for us to see humanity in one another, especially people that we might be following or getting support from. So Jessica Vega just has this, and she's incredibly wise. She just speaks so eloquently about the nature of the human condition and how we can begin to turn it around in a really fundamental way, in a profound way. And then the other one that comes to mind is who do I want to talk about? Mike Thomas was another one that I only met him after we had started kind of building RelationFlix. I didn't know about him, and he is deep into nervous system regulation and polyvagal theory, and he soaks up information like a sponge. And he has this way, like his video, he has quite an extensive course. I think maybe Scott, yours is the longest. I think yours is like 22 videos or something like that. And I think Mike's is 18 videos long, and each video is 15 to 20 minutes. And so it's just really robust. It's full of information. And it's the kind of course where you go through it and you genuinely have the amount of information of like a full semester course, dozens and dozens of hours distilled into these, 18, 20-minute videos. And I just so appreciate people like that. Like he has an attention to detail and an ability to just flow with the articulation of complex ideas in a way that at the end, I really get it. Like I'm able to kind of connect the dots that he was drawing. And those are just two of, again, dozens of educators that are generously giving to the platform. And Stephen and I, we're just at the start. Like we're just scratching the surface of what we want to create and what we want to provide for the world.
Beautiful. I've been, while you're talking, trying to get into RelationFlix and my password's not working.
Oh,
So would you be willing to go to the page with the educators? Because I'd like to just remind everybody of all the wonderful educators that you've got as part of RelationFlix, if you can pull that page up. And
yeah.
so many of them, of course, our beloved Trish. And last week was Trish's last Wednesday night. You just missed her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, after doing the show with me for 3 years, she is now going to school. She's full-time student at UC Berkeley. But these are the teachers, and Ariel, Dolphin, Erika, Farah, they've all been on the show. Jessica is one of my dearest friends in the world. There's Mike Thomas. He's been on the show many times. Lori Grace, Michael Dyer, Paul Sterling. And these are all such amazing educators and teachers. Philippe Sheza, I love Sheza. And it's really incredible. Of course, there's Trish. And of course, beloved Stephen Rowland, who is your partner who helped create RelationFlix. So it's really like a who's who of wonderful, heartfelt teachers. And Dolphin, share with people, how do people join? When they join, what's the best way to join and what do they get?
Yeah. So the best ways, if you go to relationflix.com, there's a place, there's a button on the main unsubscribed screen to sign up. And that takes you to the options page. So it just goes through the different subscriptions. Right now, people can pay monthly, they can pay annually, and they can pay for a 3-year subscription. So obviously there are different price points for that. And what we wanted to do, and the pricing model is probably going to change in the next little while, and we'll make sure that people who are already subscribed get a unique kind of offer in terms of any changes to the pricing model. But basically, right now, any subscription gets access to everything. And so again, dozens of courses, all sorts of standalone videos. The podcast is there, the live broadcasting. So as the live broadcasts come, you get unique access. You get to be in the room, similar to what Scott does. So people who watch it afterwards can watch it, but people who are watching live can really be part of it, be interactive with the unfolding session. And what we're also planning to do is, as we start to grow more and more, we want the people who came early to get unique access. So there's going to be sort of founder and legacy offers to people who join the community early. So the first few thousand people that join the platform are going to get unique and sort of first place access to some of the things that we're going to be growing into, which is it's going to be hybrid events. So these are going to be live and live broadcast. And we're also going to be doing unique retreats and things like that, where we start to invite the community out. People are going to have chances to meet the educators that they see on the platform. So there's a bunch of things that we have kind of in the works for people that join early. So on top of the value of the program of the platform and all of the content, and again, there's just going to be more and more content pouring into the platform as we go. We're going to make sure that we benefit those people that come and sort of participate and become part of our community early on in our development. And again, we're just 1.5 years in and just scratching the surface.
Beautiful. Well, Dolphin, thank you so much for the wonderful, wonderful work that you're doing. Obviously, I'm a big fan of RelationFlix and of you. And last one, there's actually a question that came in on Facebook because I was kind of checking our Facebook page. And somebody wanted to ask you, is there an overall theme or what's he say? Yeah, is there an overall theme that you're various teachers provide? I'm kind of summarizing a long paragraph.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, not in terms of particular, I mean, it's romantic relationship. That's definitely the theme. But we do that from kind of the ground up. In other words, what we're very clear about with our platform and with all of our work is, if you don't have a good relationship with yourself, if you aren't curiously and genuinely engaging your inner world and learning and growing and healing and integrating there, you don't really have a hope of creating healthy relationships outside of you. And so there is stuff that's like breath work and meditation and personal practices. And so there's a lot of that kind of stuff in the platform. And then everything from there to sensation play and sexuality and intimacy and dating, and when's the right time to leave a relationship? How do I set boundaries in my relationship? So it really goes everywhere. The mission for us is really about supporting people in deepening and strengthening and creating more meaning in their most cherished relationships. So that's what we're up to. And we're excited to just continue to bring the best educators and the best content that we can possibly find to a growing group of people that want to grow in that way.
Another question that came in: how about self-love? Is self-love one of the things that you guys teach?
For sure. Yeah. And different levels and different types of self-love. So there's some pieces around self-touch. And so like getting intimate with yourself and your body and getting to know your body, those types of pieces are there on the platform. But also very pragmatic and practical things like where, so in the podcast that we did, Scott, you brought forward, I said, like, what's the one thing that's in the way for people that are struggling and that want to create these relationships that just deeply satisfy them? And you said, it's one word: shame. And so there's a bunch of content on the platform that's really addressing these fundamental disconnects that we have from our childhood and before that even, and that we can start to shine some light and create the right kinds of realizations, the right kinds of moments of clarity, and have the perspective and the tools to move forward through that in a way that really addresses where we've missed the mark, where we didn't get our needs met, and how we can begin doing that consistently over time.
Beautiful. Well, Dolphin, thank you very, very much. Thanks for taking a break from your 2.5-year-old to be on the show and to share some wisdom. Yeah. And again, I really want to encourage everybody to go to RelationFlix, join. And one of the people is suggesting that we add Eden Amadora, who's a good friend of mine, to RelationFlix. If you don't know her, I should introduce you to her.
Yeah,
amazing. She's a very powerful woman.
Yeah.
And a great teacher.
One more thing just to say, so for people that please come to RelationFlix, sign up, obviously, and to follow myself, Stephen, and RelationFlix on the social media channels. We're sharing tons of content on our social media channels, and also that the podcast will come out at 5 p.m. on Thursdays. So next Thursday, which I believe is the 15th of September.
14th.
The 14th. Thank you. The 14th of September, 5 p.m. Pacific time, Scott's podcast will go live. And from tomorrow through till next Thursday, we'll be sharing little pieces of it, pieces of the writing, like tech quotes from what Scott said in the interview, little video clips. And so there'll be lots of really fun teasers and tasters. And then on Thursday, it will go live on the RelationFlix platform, including all of your favorite podcast host platforms as well.
Make sure, Dolphin, that you send me the link.
Yeah.
And I'll put it in and send it to all of our subscribers.
Absolutely. You'll get it. And I'll also give you access to some of those clips as well, so you can use those as you like.
Yeah. I'll pepper one every day on Facebook and on Instagram. Mark Janisowski just wrote, I'm a RelationFlix member. There's fantastic content there, everything you need and more. And Mark is in a wonderful relationship now. So RelationFlix has helped support Mark to be happy in his wonderful relationship. So
Sweet. Thanks for that,
Mark
Mark.
is our accordion player, although he doesn't have the accordion out right. There he is. There's Mark.
Hello, sir.
You're muted, Mark. There you go.
Yeah, Dolphin, you're amazing. I must say that. You know, I since coming here 3 years ago, you know, it has really changed me as a person. People just know this, Dolphin, that your mere presence can actually change people. Just the way you talk, it's like, wow, there's somebody who's modeling how to be a potential open-hearted yet masculine guy, you know? So, and Stephen also is one of those people. So I just want to thank you. And I want to encourage people to sign up for RelationFlix. It's really an amazing resource. So thank you for all the work and the beautiful production values too. I know you toil over getting gorgeous shots with your videos. So
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Mark, really love hearing that. It's you know, often running a business is often a thankless thing, and I just love getting to interact with people like yourself. So thank you for that, and know that both Stephen and I are just continuing to work away.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
It's great.
And Mark is a professional. He's a professional musician who is around big productions, does big productions all over the country. So he's got good taste. He's got good taste.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you one last time, Dolphin. And I need to get my password reset. I want to be able to get it.
Yeah. So just I'll give Stephen a nudge, and we'll see. You know, we'll get it over to you. It's no problem.
All right. Thank you for your time, buddy.
Thanks, Scott. Thanks for having me. Thanks, everyone. Nice to see you all. Have a lovely evening. I look forward to seeing you soon.
See you soon.
Cheers.
Hey, you know, we are all about community, and one of our beloved community members is Don Drake. And Don's, you know, usually he's watching, but he doesn't have his camera on. But I asked Don to turn his camera on because we'll do a little prayer vigil for Don right now. So Don, go ahead and unmute yourself if you can. And I'm so glad you're with us. And hey, buddy, good to see you.
Yeah, it's great to be here. I had kind of an unusual day today. I was supposed to go up to Harbin and go camping, as I've been doing every other week for a while as part of my healing journey. And somehow the Shakti decided to change that up on me, and I took a spill and landed on my back, and so now I'm okay. I can walk. It was a little touch and go at first, but I thought, wow, it's amazing. It's like I had wanted to go up to Harbin for this whole healing thing, but sometimes life does this. It will switch things around. So I'm not bummed out. I'm not in a lot of pain. And so that was just a strange thing that happened today. And it's so wonderful to be here because the love that's coming out of this space is off the chart. So I just had to tune in. Because anytime I have anything going on that's any kind of pain or whatever, turn to love. So thank you. Yes.
Thank you. And we love you, Don. And I recognize that Tonka behind you.
Oh, yes. Thank you. It was a wonderful gift from Scott.
Yeah, it's good to see it again. You know, I also know that we're going to do a little prayer vigil for you right now. And so what would you like for us to know? What's the vision you would like for your Global Peace Tribe to hold for you right now, Don?
The vision of me coming into radiant health and regardless of what happens, being able to be of service to people, be able to show up no matter what. And so that's all I can think of, is I just want to serve this wonderful energy that's coming into the world, that's transforming us. And I'm so blessed to have that flowing through my body. I met Swami Muktananda many years ago, so I've been dancing with the Shakti for many years. And so it's love in action, but being able to just be of service to people, which I'm doing, even in some of the limitations that I'm having in my body. I'm still volunteering twice a week with Trillium Awakening, doing gazing sessions, mutual gazing sessions. And some of these ones, we've been doing these with the same group for like 3 years. We started during the pandemic at the same time Saturday Night Alive started. And some of the relationships that we have now, I have friends that I've never met in person that are closer to me than family because we share a heart space together. And it's amazing. So I'm a happy camper. I just, whatever blessings you want to throw my way, I will lap them up like a puppy.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
looking at your puppy in the background, looking at Jazzy.
Yeah. She's right. She was on the bed. Now she's on my lap, and then now she's on the ground right by me. So, all right, well, let's all maybe Omashar, if you want to play just some underscoring music. And as we keep the focus on Dawn, most of you know my favorite prayer is maximum grace. So I'll say it, but I just invite everybody to bless Dawn Drake with maximum grace. Maximum grace for Dawn. Maximum grace for Dawn Drake. 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 Thank you, everybody, for your beautiful love. Don, you know, we've got a lot of world-class healers that are in this little group of ours. How are you feeling right now?
I totally feel it. I am just weeping here. I love you all so much.
Thank you so much for receiving our love and receiving our healing. We love you too, Don. You know, we have a beautiful, beautiful community here, and you're a big part of it. Thank you. We love you. Doing everything with love. That's the key.
This is what it's all about.
Yeah. Maximum grace, Don, and I'll get that GoFundMe started, I promise. So by
I trust that it's going to happen.
By Saturday night, I'll have it ready to let people know. We've been putting a lot of attention into the Maui fundraising.
Yes.
Maui. But it's time to do some fundraising for you, Don.
I also pray for maximum patience.
Yeah, that's a good one. Definitely maximum patience.
Somebody wrote in here that they wanted me to talk a little bit about gazing. I don't know if you have time, like
Sure,
a minute.
go ahead. Tell us a little bit about what that is.
Yeah, well, one of the ways that we can pray with one another is mutual gazing. It's sometimes called heart gazing. And one of the communities that I belong to is called Trillium Awakening. And during the pandemic, and at sittings and things, sometimes, you know, we gaze in person. But when the pandemic came around, they put out an email saying, hey, we're looking for people to do online, you know, mutual gazing to facilitate the groups. So the bottom line of it is that when you're able to co-regulate with someone who's going into a space of love, just as we did, I could feel it. I mean, it was powerful. And so we're able to transmit. This is the thing of, like, the day of the guru is kind of going away. The real guru is our own awakening hearts, our own transforming nervous systems. And so what's beautiful about the mutual gazing is that no one is the boss. It's moving completely away from that kind of hierarchical model. And so sometimes what we do is we slip in some healing too. It's like, hey, whatever you got going on, just bring it in. And I just experienced it with you all here. It's just that we weren't eye gazing, but I could see you there, and whoa, the kind of love that I can feel. And one of the things I've learned from gazing is how to receive. It's been the hardest thing in my life. I could be out there, I could do all kinds of great things for people, I could love other people, but I just could not let it in. And so I've been kind of a hard nut to crack, but I'm cracking. So so that's my take on gazing.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for being with us, and we love you very much, Don.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been a very sweet show today. You know, it's like when we, you know, occasionally focus on our community. And yeah, as DR just said, this is the new way, healing each other through love. And so Eleanor George just wrote, in recent years, I've also been practicing gazing with the trees, even as I drive along the highway, while still keeping attention on the road. That's good. I'm glad you still keep attention on the road while you do that. Tonight's gonna be a little bit of a shorter show. And we'll conclude with an Omashar song in a moment. But I wanted to offer one last love coaching tip, which is hopefully applicable to us all. And again, it is that the most important form of love is self-love. Now, self-love doesn't mean selfish, doesn't mean selfishness. We heard from, the beautiful sharing from Dolphin about how he's really, his son is teaching him to, not make himself the center of the universe. And that's certainly something that I appreciate that. But the more that we do take good care of ourselves, then the more we have to give to others. I think the majority of the people that are attracted to the show are caregivers, are people that want to contribute to the well-being of others. And honestly, I noticed that often the problem with the people that I work with and the people in part of this community, it's not that they're too selfish and all about themselves. It's that they sometimes aren't taking good enough care of themselves. They're not getting enough sleep or enough food. And they're so busy giving, but then they run themselves down, and then they're not doing things with love. They're doing things with an attitude. They're doing things with resentment. They're doing things, and they're doing a lot, but their body is suffering and they're not doing it with love. And so, again, do everything with love. And that does mean making sure that you're well-resourced, enough rest, enough food, enough nurturing. Like Don said, he's been giving to people forever, but now he's learning to receive. And again, it's very rare that I'm working with somebody who the problem is that they're a self-centered person, that they're selfish. More of the time, it's somebody who exhausted themselves by giving and giving and giving without taking better care of themselves. So let's all take good care of ourselves, because then we want to give to others. My mentor, Marshall Rosenberg, said, the greatest joy in life is contributing to the well-being of others. And those of us that are fortunate know that. And the people that are unfortunate who don't know that, well, that's tough. But most of us know that. Most of us know that. So take good care of yourselves, everybody. Really important. All right. On Saturday night, we will have another long show. And of course, we're now doing a KES group healing after every show on Saturday night. And let me know in the chat box, how is that going for you guys? I noticed that usually, like, if I had 60 people watching The Awakening World on Saturday night, about 40 stay for the KES healing. So about 2/3 are staying all the way through. But let us know, how is that for people? Doing that. Diara writes, I love the KES and can really feel it. Susan just wrote, everybody keeps looking better. All right, well, that's a couple of good immediate comments. Thank you. So while Omashar does his final song, any other thoughts, comments? It really means a lot to me to hear from all of you. And I know that it's been an intimate group tonight, but it's been really fun to hear from you and to connect a little bit and to give Don some love and to hear from Dolphin. So to conclude us, I'm going to turn it over to my wonderful partner, Omashar.
And it has been an intimate night, and I've really felt it. And I was wondering what was going to happen. My mind was wondering what was going to happen tonight, but it was all about coming into the heart for me, and I really felt it. And Don, you kind of catalyzed it for me. Like many of us on this platform, we've been giving and giving and giving, but when it turns around and people want to give to you, I didn't even realize I had a block to receiving. And so I'm glad that you voiced that, Don, because it's just given me another encouragement to actually accept other people's help who have been wanting to help me forever. And one more thing, the KES healing on the Saturday night, last Saturday, I fully tuned into it because I thought, well, why not fully taste it? And I asked for a specific healing on a specific place within myself, and I felt that healing happening as it was being transmitted, let's say, from our friend. I think she was from Switzerland, and it was phenomenal because it was a real tangible proof to me that this is working and that we are all connected. So I'm really grateful for the KES healing, and I look forward to this Saturday night, of course. And so here we are. Let's
I am you, though we seem to come from different skies. And what is true is the love that shines right through your eyes. Yes, we are here and now, and it's time to leave the past behind. So take me by the hand, let us walk across this sacred land. I am you, though we seem to come from different skies. And what is true is the love that shines right through your eyes. I'll sail away with you across the universe. We'll fly on eagle's wings, and you know we'll cry with gratitude. Bonnie, remember, you're always divinely connected. Our spirits, our bodies are being resurrected. The love in your hearts will lift you up, and I'll come along and fill your cup. I am you, though we seem to come from different skies. And what is true is the love that shines right through your eyes. 1,000 sunny days describes the joy I feel. I'd walk 1,000,000 miles, 'cause you know we'll see the truth revealed. And we will remember, we're always divinely connected. Our spirits, our bodies are being resurrected. The love in your hearts will lift you up, and I'll come along and fill your cup. Yes, we are here and now, and it's time to leave the past behind. So take me by the hand, and let us walk across this sacred land. Once more, remember, we're always divinely connected. Our spirits, our bodies are being resurrected. The love in your hearts will lift you up, and I'll come along and fill your cup. I am you, though we seem to come from different skies. What is true is the love that shines right through your eyes. though we seem to come from different skies.
Hmm. You nailed it, buddy. As always, so beautiful.
We nailed it, brother.
Oh,
It's us. It's a one collective heart love fest.
absolutely. Thank you so much, Omashar. Thank you, everyone. Have a beautiful, beautiful few days. I hope to see all of you on Saturday night. Thank you for registering for the show, to keep things moving, keep it going. And I look forward to many, 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 many more wonderful shows. And let's all do everything with love. Let's make that the theme for the next forever.
Exactly. For eternity.
For eternity, do everything with love. Take care, everybody. Good night.